Serena Williams is a huge source of inspiration to millions of people around the world. Over the course of her career, she redefined the sport of tennis and never, ever settled for less. So many of the athletes currently playing on the tour grew up watching and idolizing her, and Garbine Muguruza is no different. In today's video, we're going to talk about how Serena inspired Garbine to dream big. So let's get into it. First off, Serena is Garbine's role model. When she was just a little girl, Garbine's mother used to encourage her to watch the Williams sisters, who were consistently dominating the game. Now, she's a two-time Grand Slam champion herself, and has even been the #1 player in the entire world. She recently wrote a tribute to the legendary player and claimed that Serena is a player from another dimension, and that she's unique and incomparable in every way. And she's completely spot on. No one in the history of the sport has done what Serena's done. Garbine also revealed that she's been an inspiration and a true role model to follow throughout her career, as she's definitely been for a bunch of other players as well. She used to play tennis at a club that wasn't exactly the best setting, but her mother always used to tell her to look at the Williams sisters and notice the character and grit with which they play. She said that, back then, she was 6 or 7 years old, and from that moment on, she started to dream big and believed that if she had a character like that, she could become like Serena. And folks, this is a testament to the younger Williams' impact. She's so much more than a sportswoman. She's an icon who has quite literally changed lives. Next up, Garbine actually won her first Grand Slam after defeating Serena. Sometimes in life, things actually do come full circle. How could Garbine, or her loving mother, have guessed that one day that some little girl would go on to face Serena in the final of a Grand Slam? It just shows that if you really set your mind to it, you can do pretty much anything in your life. In 2015, Muguruza went on a fantastic run and reached her very first major final at the All England Club. She was up against her hero, and unfortunately, she just came up short. As is the case in so many tennis matches, Serena won and lifted the trophy. But the story isn't over here. The very next year, Muguruza faced Serena once again in the French Open final, and this time around, she prevailed and claimed her very first major title. Imagine that. We can't even imagine how she would have felt in that incredible moment. In total, the two faced each other 6 times, with both of them winning 3 times each. The last time they met was in the 2019 Indian Wells. Muguruza was up by a set before Williams had to retire due to an injury. Coming up, Garbine reveals that she cried when Serena's retirement was announced. While all of us were pretty shaken up when Serena announced that she was evolving away from the beautiful sport, very few took the news harder than the former world #1. Garbine wrote that she started crying when she found out that the 23-time Grand Slam champion was retiring, something that's very rare for her. She revealed that the champion's goodbye shut something down inside her and that something was extinguished. She admitted that while Serena's decision is completely logical and perfectly fine, she just couldn't wrap her head around it. She was thinking, now what? And started wondering who'd be the one to really lead tennis and be an unmatched role model that everyone can look up to. And you know what? We completely get it. It really felt like the end of an era. As much as we all should have seen it coming, it was still somehow super shocking, because come on, what is tennis without Serena? Garbine also explained that when the younger Williams burst onto the scene, she created a sort of before and after that forced everyone to be better. So many players studied her game in depth because that's the only way to face someone who has blazed a new trail. Serena took the game by storm and just changed it into something that was much more aggressive, stronger, faster, and more explosive. And because of her, every other player had to adapt if they wanted to compete at her level, or at least close to it. And that is exactly why Garbine believes she is the greatest of all time. Finally, no one is ever going to replicate Serena. Okay, we know. Records are meant to be broken. Serena's 23 Grand Slams in the Open era may actually be matched by someone in the future. Maybe it'll be Iga Świątek. Maybe it'll be someone else. But if you ask us, no one will ever be as great as the younger Williams sister, simply because of her incredible story. Throughout the course of her career, she had to unfairly deal with racism, sexism, body shaming, injuries, and a whole lot more to stay at the top. And come on, she once won a Grand Slam when she was literally pregnant. She's an icon like no other, and there will never be anyone else like her. To compete at the biggest stage of tennis for so long is truly insane, and the fact that she did it with such grace and poise is even more commendable. She always tried to help her fellow players and was never, ever selfish. Was she extremely competitive? Absolutely. But you have to be that way when you want to be the greatest to ever do it. And Serena did it. Hundreds of years from now, she'll be be remembered for her incredible athleticism, commitment, and drive. And just because she's not going to play the sport in a professional capacity anymore, that doesn't mean that she's going to stop being an inspiration to people all around the world. Now, it's time to move on to some more tennis-related news. First off, Serena welcomes Roger to the retirement club. It's a sad year for tennis. Two of its biggest and most popular icons have decided to move on, and honestly, we really don't think the sport is ever going to recover. Roger Federer recently announced that the Laver Cup is going to be his last ATP tournament, and the world was shocked. First Serena, now Roger? Surely this cannot be true. But alas, all good things come to an end. Williams took to Instagram to reveal that she was among the millions and millions of people the Swiss maestro had inspired throughout his 24-year career. She expressed that she has always looked up to Roger and admired him in every way. She applauded him and said that she was looking forward to all that he was to do in the future. Finally, the 41-year-old welcomed to the retirement club and thanked him for being him. Next up, Katie Swan forced to retire during Chennai Open. 23-year-old Katie Swan was competing in her very first WTA semifinal in Chennai, but unfortunately, she was forced to retire due to illness. She was trailing 3-0 to Paul Magdalenet when she requested a medical timeout. After medics performed a checkup, they realized that Swan was simply not well enough to resume. It was really disappointing because she felt like she could have gone all the way this time around. She had played really late the night before, and clearly it had taken a huge toll on her body. This means that Linette will now face Czech teenager Linda Fruhvirtova in the final of the tournament. Finally, Venus Williams talks about the importance of therapy. In a recent interview with People magazine, Venus said that it's really important to engage in therapy even before you might have something exactly to talk about. She believes that everyone should work through and prepare themselves for anything that might come up in life. Venus revealed that her mother, Oracene Price, used to tell her that working on her mental strength was the key at all times. And if you ask us, she's completely right. Therapy can teach you the tool to deal with whatever life throws your way. Williams, along with fellow American players Taylor Fritz and Frances Tiafoe, has joined forces with the online counseling service BetterHelp. This will help them provide up to $3 million worth of free mental health therapy. She added that she's excited to be a part of this and to give away opportunities for people to work on and better their health. Over the last year or so, this has been a huge topic of discussion amongst athletes. It's really nice to see that so many of them are opening up about the issues they can face. In the world of tennis, Naomi Osaka was the first one who really talked about her story, and the Japanese superstar has motivated a bunch of other athletes to do the same. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think anyone can ever be as successful in tennis as Serena Williams? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.